Hey y'all, I am going to be showing you how I went from this to this with the help of an Atlanta stylist. Her name is Daisy. I will insert her Instagram either somewhere on the screen or in the description box below. If you happen to get a booking with her, it is well worth it. She's very good, so that's why she's always booked and busy. A little too booked for me sometimes because sis can never get an appointment. But she definitely is the bomb.com. It's also going to be a tutorial on how I bleach the knots and tint the lace, but a review on the hair that I actually got from Barbie's Glam Co. And their Instagram is at Barbie's Glam Co. and their full company name is Barbie's Glam Collection. The hair was okay in my opinion. I still have it, but for it to be considered raw hair, I'm not so sure how to feel about it. It's not the worst. It has still been holding up, but quality wise, it's just okay. But I don't know what could have changed since then, since I purchased this hair. I did purchase this hair back in September of last year. To be specific, it was September 11th, 2020. Now, as you can see here, I have some Got2b spray, a hairbrush, a fork, a knife, some hair clips, purple shampoo and conditioner, some developer displayed. I also have some other products, of course, the bleach, a mixing bowl or two that I'll be using for this process. But this is what we have going on for our setup. As you can see, I'm brushing these hairs out the way with this Got2b spray. When we're applying the bleach mixture, we don't want to bleach the hairs. All we're trying to do is bleach the knots in the closure, okay? Not the hair. Now, once I have all of the hairs brushed out the way and pulled together, I'm going to clip that up to secure it and make sure it's out the way for good. And here I'm just showing you the lace. You're able to see the knots are fairly small. The lace is very thin. The quality of the closure was very good. If anything, I wouldn't mind buying more lace pieces from them. But like I said, the quality of the hair itself, I just wasn't the biggest fan of the bundles. Great lace though. And now I'm going to be showing you the type of bleach that I use. This was the Color Charm Wella bleach, the powder lightener, that's what they call it. And that's what I'm going to be mixing with our developer. I'm using the Salon Care 30 volume cream developer. And I have a plastic fork, a butter knife, and I'm using the fork to mix the mixture together with the bleach and the developer, and the knife is what I'm going to use to spread the mixture across the lace. And here I'm showing you just a box of color by Dark and Lovely. I was gonna consider dyeing it jet black, but I decided not to. I think I just didn't feel like dealing with it. If I can remember correctly, I'm sure that's what it was. But yeah, child, I just bleached the knots, tinted the lace, and let Miss Daisy install it. Here I am reaching for the gloves that do come with that Dark and Lovely pack because I was not trying to mess up my nails with none of this stuff, and bleach is not having that, sis. now that we have that together, we're going to start mixing everything together. Well, you know what I'm saying. Y'all done seen videos like these before. Not everything, but we're going to mix this bleach and this developer together. And the goal for this is we're looking for a thick paste-like consistency. I'm sure you guys have heard this a million times. There's so many videos on YouTube about this. I'm adding a little bit of product at a time. I barely even use one packet of this. And you can always add as you go, you know. You don't want to overdo it, and we're only bleaching a closure. We're not doing a whole frontal. We're not doing an entire wig. We're not doing multiple pieces. So you really don't need that much. And I'm showing you the little portions that I'm using. Again, when it comes to all of this, you can always add a little bit more developer. You can always add a little bit more powder if need be. But you cannot take product away. I say this all the time when it comes to cooking and you're adding seasonings to your food, when you're adding salt, garlic powder, cayenne pepper, all these things. In this case, the same things apply. You can add to, but you cannot take away. So now that we got a little bit going in this little mixing bowl, this little container, I'm taking my fork and I'm mixing that up. And we're just going to mix until we get that consistency that I am looking for. For example, I wasn't getting the consistency that I was looking for just yet, so adding a little more bleach powder. I didn't measure any of this stuff, as you can see. I was eyeballing everything. Unless it's baking, because you can mess up some baked goods if you don't have those measurements right, so I don't even play around with that. But unless it's baking a cake, a pastry, some cookies or something, I don't measure anything. I eyeball everything. So that's exactly what I was doing here. Here we're getting those, like, I guess you would call it like stiff peaks. I know I'm comparing like food and baking to some dang bleach powder for some hair, but I'm just trying to make this as understandable as possible for you guys. So that's what I was looking for. Now I'm taking a knife and I'm gonna spread this mixture on the closure from the back of it to the front. That's just what I decided to do, and it was easiest for me for whatever reason. And I think it was because in case my hand slipped, I didn't want to have it slipping towards the hair and to potentially get bleach on the hair, if that makes sense. But with me holding it with my left hand, my hand holding the closure sturdy and me swiping away from the hair, I just felt more comfortable with that. Again, just for safety and precaution purposes, I was trying to be extremely careful with this. All my first timers, just be careful. Just take your time, pay attention, and you got it. It's really not hard. This was not a hard process. It was just a little time consuming only because it was my first time and I was trying to make sure I did it the right way. And once we have that spread all over the lace, every nook and cranny, we want everything covered. We're going to flip that over onto a piece of foil. Supposedly, foil is supposed to create like heat to where the hair will process faster when you're dealing with bleach and whatnot. So I didn't wrap it or cover it for any reason. I didn't want to speed up the bleaching process because, again, this was my first time and I wanted to make sure I kept an eye on it. So that's why I'm also tapping it just a little bit to make sure the knots will be covered and the mixture can kind of seep through a little bit since the paste is a little bit thicker. Now here I'm showing you the hair color that I'm using to tint the lace, and this is the Adore Honey Brown in the number 48. And I'm also pulling out a pot because we're going to boil some water that we're going to mix the water and the hair color with in order to tint the lace. And when you're choosing your hair color for this process, you want to make sure it's something that's going to blend in with your skin tone, especially like that area right around your forehead, because that's where the lace is going to be touching, and that's where you want to blend in seamlessly. You can go like a little lighter, not too much, but you definitely don't want to go darker. If anything, you want it to at least match your forehead. Now I'm grabbing my phone so we can time this process. We're gonna go and let this hair bleach, or the knots bleach, for about 15 minutes to start. And we're just gonna check it as we go. Now, sis got a little hungry and wanted a little snacky snack. And I'm just showing you something new that I tried that day. It's a cactus fruit. Unfortunately, I wasn't a fan. I think they have like different kinds, or they come in different colors, but I wasn't feeling it. I was expecting more, and it just didn't do it didn't give what I needed it to give. And I love fruit, okay? But it just wasn't it. But look at that. Look how pretty and bright and red and juicy that is. I was excited, but so disappointed. Like, why? Ugh. And it just had so many seeds. And it just didn't have a whole lot of flesh for you to eat. It was just seeds, and it was kind of tasteless. Let me know if maybe I picked the wrong one, or it wasn't ripe, or tell me I did something wrong, because I'll try it again, but it wasn't it. Now here, what I'm showing you is something that's fire. Okay? That's fire. Simply Peach. Man, if you don't know about Simply Peach yet, where you been? Now we're about to give this a little checky check and see how it's processing. You just want to use your fingers and just separate the hair, make like a little part somewhere, and see how it's processing and the color that the knots are giving. In another video I seen, I can't remember his name. He has a YouTube channel and does hair bomb, like work is bomb. And he compared the color that you're going for when you're bleaching the knots and doing this process. He compared it to the McDonald's golden yellow arches. Grabbing another bowl to mix our water in with the color. Oh, I don't think I brought up the salt. You're going to see me add some salt in this, and I'm going to tell you why in a little bit. But we're taking that water that we boiled that's nice and hot, and you want to make sure once it's time to submerge the hair into this, it's not boiling and piping hot, because you don't want to burn your hands. So we're just going to add a little bit at a time in the beginning, and we're going to test it as we go, compare it to your skin so you can see if it's too dark, too light, because you want to get this part correct for sure before you dip that lace in there. Giving that another check. My alarm must have went off, so I was checking everything, and after we added that other color, we're gonna do another test, a color check, and we're gonna do our last sample test with this paper towel to see what color we get. And there we go. Looks good to me. And mind you, my hand is a little light, so I had to go off camera and kind of look at my forehead to see. Here I'm just showing you the shampoo and conditioner I'm using, Shimmer Light shampoo. It's their purple shampoo. Of course, you guys know the shampoo is supposed to be purple to tone. And I also showed you this other shampoo. I didn't end up using that one though, but it could be another alternative. So you want to rinse that really well. I ended up doing a shampoo on this closure twice to get it worked in really well. Now, once we have that shampoo rinsed out nice and well, I'm just showing you what we have going on. It's giving clear, it's giving see-through, transparent, and not like transparent lace, but like transparency, okay? Who did that? Your girl, Tanae Danae, sis. She did that. And then moving forward, we are going to add some of that purple conditioner in there. And once we get that conditioner on, we're going to work that in really well as well. And some people actually let their shampoo sit and let their conditioner set into their lace. To each his own. I don't think it's going to hurt, but I just decided to do it with the conditioner, and I let that sit for 10 minutes, okay? Work that conditioner in really well, and then you set it aside. I just sat mine in the sink. I had washed the sink before I got this process started, so everything was sanitized and it was okay. And I just worked in that conditioner and let it sit while I really got the rest of that color and everything together, because we want to add some salt to that water mix, okay? And that's gonna pick up any type of brassy undertones as we're tinting the lace. We just want the lace to pick up true color and the true pigment that we're going for. So that salt is gonna get rid of that brassiness, and that's like a major key for those who didn't know, or if you haven't come across that in any videos. I might be a little late to the party, but if I can help out anybody, that's a big one right there. I also went behind that and added some more of the hot water to warm up the mixture again. It was specified that you want the mix to be hot or warm, not hot enough to where it's gonna burn you when you put the lace in there, but you do want the mix to be hot enough. So guys, unfortunately my camera died before I can show the rest of the video of me dipping the lace into the tinted mixture. I let it sit for about 15 minutes, but just like how you checked it with the bleach and check the processing, you want to make sure you pull out the closure and check the color of the knots in the lace, compare it to your skin to make sure it matches accordingly. And from there, it's pretty much it. I let it air dry overnight until my appointment the next day, and everything worked out well. The stylist didn't have to bleach the knots, tint the lace, or do anything. And here I will attach a short clip after my hair was done so you can see how it looks. Everything turned out bomb. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, learned something new, and see you next time. Bye.